we're talking about intention, the power of intention, and specifically about a connected life today, about how our own connection and intention can transform the world. The 12-step recovery programs have a principle which says, if all else fails, if you're at the end of your rope, if you've tried everything you can do, all the prayer or the meditation, and nothing is working, that reach out and help someone else. Reach out and help someone else. This works when other activities fail. There's another line that says, helping others is a foundation stone of our recovery. So we are talking about Wayne Dyer's book, The Power of Intention. I talked about that last time I spoke, but we're going into it in a deeper way. And in talking about helping others, this connected life, about how we're involved with others, Dyer says, not only does it help us, just help us when we help others, but he says, even if we desire something for others, we receive that. For instance, if you desire love for other people, we'll receive love. And that the ability, the level to which we're connected with this power of intention will determine our impact on others. Now, the way we're using intention in this way is using intention as talking about it as an infinite force. It's a power, it's an essence, it's invisible, it's indivisible, you can't separate it out. It's this presence that's everywhere present, and of course, some people call that God. But this energy of intention is this overarching, never-ending, ever-expanding essence which continues to want to seek more and more of itself as beauty, as love, as kindness, as these things. And so, in speaking about that in our relationship with others, Dyer talks about relationships as being either holy or unholy. Holy or unholy. And if you're in a holy relationship, it's a high level of energy in those relationships. There's an appreciation, there's an understanding of perfection in the relationship. It's treating others as divine expressions. In a holy, high energy relationship, we don't want to get things from people. We don't desire for them to change to fit something that we think we need. We're not having expectations of them. And in return, we'll receive kindness from them too. Now, in an unholy relationship, this one has a low level of energy in it. And we're primarily looking to other people to help satisfy what we perceive or what our ego perceives as a need. People are there to help us get what's missing in our lives. A lot of committed relationships, you'll see that this belief that there needs to be one person that helps make me whole. And that's an unholy relationship. See, it's impossible for me to know my own perfection if I'm unable to see and honor that same perfection in you. It's impossible. Because in holy relationships, I see the person as whole. I see them as complete. And any relationship, even an encounter, can be such a holy relationship. I had a holy relationship a few days ago at Costco. I was returning something, and the woman at the return counter, she had just had some kind of interaction with another employee, and it looked like there was some tenseness there. I don't know exactly what went on, but when she was helping me with my return, I noticed, and I said to her, "That shirt you have on is beautiful, and it matches your hair so beautifully." She turned and looked at me and said, "That is the nicest thing that anyone has said to me all day." And then she went on to talk about how she was thinking of retiring, but then she also said, "But I love my job." It was in the holy relationship. It brought her to a place where it was like, I do love this job. I do love the people that I deal with. See, when left on our own, there's not a lot we can do to come to this place where we understand who we are as our own self. We don't see ourselves really until we're in relationship. A Course in Miracles even says the kingdom cannot be found alone, but that together our minds fuse into something whose power is far beyond the power of its separate parts. See, again, we're going back to the fundamental idea that there is no separation, that we are all part of this one essence of wholeness. That's what we are. And when we begin to realize this, then we become part of this. Yes. See, when we're vibrating at the power of yes, vibrating and holding our energy level high, where we understand that all of these relationships are holy, that everyone we see is spirit unfolding. When we can do that, then our energies have an impact on others. They instill calmness. It leaves others feeling energized and feeling better about themselves. Our presence allows others to feel unified, and instills a sense of purpose and allows them to trust in authentic personal connections. It inspires others to greatness and aligns them with beauty. It brings health rather than sickness. All of these things happen in our presence because we're holding the higher energies of a holy relationship. And that's not all, as they say on those ads, and there's more. And that's that we not only have an impact on the people we're with, but our energetic level has an impact on the entirety of humanity. Entirety of humanity. So there's a book called Power versus Force, written by David Hawkins. And he talks about us floating on the collective level of consciousness of mankind. And so any increment that we add, it comes back to us as it uplifts the rest of humanity. See, David Hawkins did scientific testing for 29 years, and he learned that he can calibrate the energy level of single people as well as groups of people. And there are also items where you can calibrate the level of energy, like items like books. And low energy people are those who they can't tell the truth from the falsehood. And so they're easily led in terms of how to think, who to hate, what to believe. They can be led into sort of a group think mentality about even trivial things, about where they're living and what impact that has on them. They have this total identification with the material world. And Hawkins says that 87% of humanity vibrates at that level that weakens them. Literally weakens them. Now, the higher up the ladder you go of these energy levels, the fewer the people. And at the very highest level are truly great persons who they originated entire spiritual patterns that multitudes have followed throughout the ages. And then just below that level of pure enlightenment, there are those levels known as transcendence, self-realization, or God consciousness. Those are very saintly people. And below that are people who have this pure joy within them. They have the hallmark of compassion. Their desire is to use their consciousness for the benefit of life itself rather than the individual. Now, those supremely high levels, very, very few people reach those levels. But under that, and still in the positive realm, are those levels of unconditional love, kindness, acceptance of everyone, beauty, appreciation. Those are some of the words that we've learned are what Dyer calls the 7 faces of intention, of this invisible force. This is invisible power. Now, below all of those levels that strengthen us are the ones that weaken us. And those low energy levels are like anger and fear, grief, apathy, guilt, hatred, judgment, shame. Those weaken us. They literally weaken us physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so it's really crucial for us to be aware of our energy level in terms of what it's doing for us and the people around us. And there's more. Because a higher energy can dissolve a lower energy, there's a counterbalancing that happens with energies, with people's energy. Higher level people can counterbalance lower level energies of people. And the good news is it's not on a one-to-one basis. The higher level energy people can counteract many of the lower level energy people. And I've got some figures from Dr. Hawkins' research. An individual who lives and vibrates to the energy of optimism and a willingness to be non-judgmental of others will counterbalance the negativity of 90,000 individuals. 90,000. That's just having optimism and a willing to be non-judgmental. We could all do that. An individual who lives and vibrates to the energy of pure love and reverence for all of life will counterbalance the negativity of 750,000 individuals who calibrate at the lower weakening levels. One individual who lives and vibrates to the energy of illumination, bliss, and infinite peace will counterbalance the negativity of 10 million people of the lower weakening levels. And Dr. Hawkins said that 22 people existed at that level in the world. Even higher, an individual who lives and vibrates to the energy of grace, pure spirit beyond the body, in a world of non-duality or complete oneness, will counterbalance the negativity of 70 million people who calibrate at the lower levels. And Dr. Hawkins said there were 10 of these sages on the planet. One single avatar at the very highest level of consciousness in this period of history, to whom the title Lord is appropriate, such as Lord Krishna, Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus Christ, would counterbalance the collective negativity of all of humankind, which currently stands at 8 billion people. See, because of this counterbalancing impact, those people who are in the 87% of the low weakening energy are able to continue and raise up. If it weren't for the high people, the people would be self-destructing. So by raising our own energy to a slightly even, where you regularly practice love, kindness, receptivity, where you see beauty and unlimited abundance, that can help 90,000 people raise up from the weakening levels. The acronym is HAW. Like if you said yee-haw, that HAW. And the H stands for holy relationships. See every relationship as a holy relationship. See everybody as spirit unfolding. Children are they're not here to come for you. They're here, they just come through you. Your partner in life isn't there to make you whole or to support all of your needs. Instead, if you see it as a holy relationship, you'll want to be giving and seeing what you can contribute to that person. Rather than judging someone you might see on the sidewalk, feel compassion toward them. Seek holy relationships. Ernest Holmes, our founder in the Science of Mind, said, "The law knows about us only that which we know about ourselves." For the average person, his only use of the law will be a reflection of what the consensus of human opinion believes must take place. To assert our individuality is to rise above the law of averages into that more highly specialized use of the law, which brings freedom rather than bondage, joy in the place of grief, and wholeness instead of sickness. We cannot do this unless we're first willing to judge not according to appearances. This is what is meant by entering the absolute. See, Ernest Holmes recognized that the general level of humanity is a lower one. But to rise, we judge not according to appearances and enter into that space of more beauty, more love. Dyer calls this the power of intention. That's what he calls the law. So see everything is holy. That's our H word. See everything is holy. The more that we can do that, the more that we will be floating along the line of the power of intention or the absolute. Now the A in our HAW acronym stands for alert. Continually being alert to the fact that by raising your vibration, you can raise up 90,000 people just by raising your vibration toward the power of source, the power of intention. There's nothing else to do. You don't have to go convert anything. You don't have to set goals and work on them. You don't have to go out and gather all these people. Just raise your vibration. Convert your own energy into these seven, what he calls the seven faces of intention, which are creative, kind, loving, beautiful, ever expanding, endlessly abundant, and receptive to all without judgment. Be alert. That's the A. And the W in HAW stands for what we want for others. Whatever others want, if we want it for them so strongly, then our energy level will vibrate that and it will be uplifting to them. So if we can just feel within our own body what it is that we think they would feel if they were happy, if they were fulfilled, if they had their dreams and prayers answered, if we can feel that intensely within our own beingness and breathe and create a density of intention, of the power of intent, yes, there is an energetic density that we can generate, then that is helping to uplift others. Want for them, that's the W. Want for others what they would want for themselves. A lot of times, I think in New Thought, we feel like we're here to, we're here to get, to raise our own consciousness for what we can get. And the truth is, we are here to raise our own consciousness. But we're not solely doing that for ourselves. We're here as part of this grand experiment of Earth to help other people. And we can do that by just working on ourselves, by just raising our own consciousness. Jesus, the Christed being, said, the greatest commandment is this: love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second commandment is this: love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. So let's just go into a prayer treatment at this moment. You can close your eyes if you feel led to do that and it's comfortable for you. As we breathe in and out, breathing in the belly, we realize that this one presence and one power is infinite. It is the life of all. It not only creator, that which has caused all to come into being, but it is also all that has come into being. And its essence is love, beauty, kindness, ever expanding, infinite abundance, receptive to all. This essence of Godness, the absolute, this one power of intention is always intending for higher and greater and more expressive levels of consciousness for all. And it is this essence which we're made of. And that's why we have, each of us have this desire to know more, to express more spiritually. It's because it's part of who we are. That power of intention is what we're made up of. And so in this awareness that we are the voice of God, we are the hands of God, we are the humanity of God, we are the spirituality of God. We are those things. In this awareness, we know that our word has power, and I speak my word today, that all of us here online or those watching later, that we catch it. We catch that realization. Oh my, I'm not just here for my own self. I'm here for all of humanity. For people as close as the person I greet in the store, or the salesperson that comes to my door, or as grand as perhaps 90,000 people who will benefit from my elevation in consciousness, that I have that power. I speak that each of us becomes more alert, that each of us sinks into the realization of who and what we are and how powerful we are. And in this awareness, love blossoms forth. That the power of this love is spread further and further across the globe. That it benefits everyone. In a world where we can be anything, let us be kind. Let us be that face of givingness, that face of seeing someone else as the entirety of spirit that they are. We can each do that. So in this moment, I speak my word that each of us becomes that level of consciousness. Taking a deep breath, I realize that it is with gratitude that I am aware of this truth and that I release it into that law, the law of intention, which is surely to manifest it as so. And so it is. Amen.